What's up, CFO gang? It's your boy Jay Tuck. Real Cowboys fans, stand up and happy Monday. Hopefully everyone's having a good one. Hopefully everyone has had a great weekend, got to rest and relax and get some R&R. And before we start, I have to give a huge congratulations to my son, Cameron, man. Salute to Cameron the King. My son just graduated from high school this past weekend, and I could not be a more proud father. He had so many accolades around his neck. I was like, hey, Dad only had one rope. He had about 7 or 8 of them things. Like a bunch of rapper chains, man. So extremely proud of my son, and he will be continuing his education at the University of Kansas. My son is going to be a Jayhawk, studying journalism, wanting to be like his father and get that journalism degree. But while I was out, wasn't much going on when it comes to Cowboys Nation, right? As we gear up for OTAs starting tomorrow. So we'll get some football nuggets, not too much, but the media will be able to kind of get some insight when it comes to OTAs tomorrow. But salute to DLLS, right? If you haven't checked them out on YouTube. Does a fantastic job. Got my guys over there, Clarence, you know what I'm saying? Uncle Clarence over there. You got Joseph Hoyt over there, Jesse Holly, Jeff Kavanaugh. You know, the list goes on and on. They do great quality content over there. I will post the link below. But they had a good interview with Will McClay. Not Trill McClay. I'm Trill. You know what I'm saying? But with Will McClay, we know Will McClay is keeping a buck. He is really the GM of the Dallas Cowboys. He just doesn't have the title, but he does a lot of incredible work, right? And so Will McClay was on DLS, also with Nate Newton, and he spoke about George Pickens. And let's hear what Will had to say.
Well, George Pickens certainly is the big headline over the last couple of weeks. Really, you could say the headline of the offseason, headline of several off seasons, considering how you guys have traditionally gone in adding players outside the draft. Why was he the right guy? Why is he the right fit? Just talk about the whole process with Pickens and what he's going to mean with CeeDee and Dak.
Well, I mean, we went into the offseason. We always go into the offseason with needs. We're going to look at it and say, okay, where were we short? What do we need? How do we make the team better? So another receiver was part of the conversation. Happy with what we.
Hold up. Record scratch, right? Another receiver was part of the conversation. So team weapons, people was acting like we was crazy, like we were perfectly fine and we could have went out there with Jonathan Mingo and this and that. It is relieving to know the Dallas Cowboys said even though they had some guys, it was still an area of concern when it comes to the wide receiver position.
We had, but we always feel like we got to get better. Like we started the conversation with, my job is to replace you. Well, it's dog eat dog, it's competitive. So when we went through the process of looking at how we feel that, where there were a number of options in the draft, not as many as in normal years when you talk about receivers, as far as the depth of like a number one or a number two guy that you can develop quick, at least in the evaluation process of it. And then you
see, and that is another thing. And that's why I love our community. I love, a lot of people who do incredible draft work, pat on the back, such as myself, right? I was telling y'all, this wide receiver class, it wasn't as attractive as years past, right? You pretty much had Mac, could have possibly put in Golden, Burton, Emeka, right? But it wasn't as sexy, as attractive as it typically is, which is probably the reason why the Dallas Cowboys were kind of on drafting a wide receiver and decided to go ahead and trade for one, and they end up getting George Pickens.
Started to go around and look at what's available from the trade market. So those conversations started, and we went through a number of different names. And then the Pickens thing came up. We did our research along with the other guys. And, sometimes when you're buying property, it's not just what you got to spend, it's who's selling. And so we found a partner that was willing to, they were willing to move something that we were looking to gain, and the price fit. And we're excited about it because it adds another weapon. The more, football is a math problem, and the more that you can add that somebody's got to take away from, the more you get that equation in your favor.
How much homework you do on the off the field stuff, and that wasn't a big deal? I mean, ultimately, it wasn't a deal breaker for you.
No, I mean, we looked at it, and every player that we go through, you go through the number of different steps to find out who they
Facts.
are, not only on the field but off the field. And you talk to a number of different people, and we gathered all that information, and we did something that we're comfortable with. At the end of the day, it's a 24-year-old young man that's
Right.
continuing to grow, and
Still young.
they have to be put in situations to help them grow. And hopefully, we can continue to help him grow, and he can help our football team grow with not only his ability but who he is as a man. And we're going to try and help him do that.
Well, George Pickens certainly the big headline.
That's what people got to understand, man. Pickens is still young. He's the same age as Schoonmaker. You know what I'm saying? It's only 24 years old. Let this kid mature. Let this kid grow. I feel like so many people have been so quick to just put some narratives on a kid, but all he really wants to do is just have the ball in his hands and win football games. He's not gun under the seat guy. He's not getting off the field issues and troubles and different things like that. So we've had some players currently that's done a whole lot worse than George Pickens. He is just a guy who wants to win. And speaking of guys who want to win, CeeDee Lamb is a guy who just wants to win, and he is excited, y'all. He is Team Pickens. Micah Parsons tweeted, CeeDee got him a new friend, right? CeeDee is excited. And it's okay, right? It is okay to be excited that you got some quality teammates, right? Now, let's be honest. CeeDee Lamb wasn't very vocal about Jonathan Mingo. He wasn't very vocal about Tolbert and Paris Campbell. But, man, he has been extremely vocal about George Pickens, and it feels like this was definitely a player that CeeDee Lamb co-signs, and it's good to see CeeDee Lamb and Pickens already out in public, hanging out, and they were together at a Kyler Murray, we're going to deal with Kyler Murray this season, charity baseball game, and here's what CeeDee Lamb had to say.
There's one. You look over there, you see one.
You look over there, you see one. We got him, y'all. And isn't this nice?
Oh, no, we both ones.
Yeah. Both ones. They are both ones. They are both
ones. Oh, no, we both ones.
Both ones. We got two. We got two wide receiver ones. We don't have a wide receiver one and another wide receiver. Oh, we both ones. It's going to be fun.
It ain't no A, B, none of that. There's one. You look over there, you see one. You look over here, you see another one. So do what you got to do with that. Oh, no.
What are you going to do with that? And see, I think this is a good thing. And we know last offseason when they had the podcast, Micah and CeeDee spoke about being leaders. And they kind of had to get some of that old crust out the way, but I feel like CeeDee putting Pickens under the wing is a good sign, right? It's a good sign to say, hey, bro, it's not a competition. It ain't a me versus you and you trying to steal my spotlight. Like, this is a we thing, right? And think about it. Amari Cooper was big bro to CeeDee. Even though they're damn near the same age when it comes to Pickens and CeeDee, you know what I'm saying? CeeDee can be that guy that can put his arm around him like, all right, bro, let's go take a walk. Let's go calm down. You need that in Dallas. And then you see Micah Parsons on the other end being that vocal leader, being outspoken on Twitter already. They moved his locker. Him and Dak Prescott, they will be the leaders of this team, and I am excited to see the new direction of the Dallas Cowboys. Can my dog Pickens get a number, though? Can Pickens get a number, though, bro? Like, come on. Hey, Marquise Bell, come on, dog. Jalen Tolbert, I know Post Malone had your jersey on at the concert the other day, but come on, dog. One of y'all has got to, you know what I'm saying? One of y'all going to have to let it go, and let Pickens get 14 or 1. But we'll deal with that. But don't put him no ugly 87 or 89 or something like that. Don't do Pickens like that. You know what I'm saying? 82. No. 14 or 1 when it comes to George Pickens. Let my dog get a number because some of us need to go get that jersey. But it sounds like CeeDee Lamb and other Dallas Cowboys players are excited to have George Pickens in-house, and it's going to feel good. I think it's going to be a good change of scenery when it comes to George, to be somewhere where you get to be embraced. Hopefully, right? Knock on wood. that things will work out. But tomorrow, like I said, OTAs kick off. We will be going live, breaking down all the little tweets and tidbits to talk about what is going on with our Dallas Cowboys as we gear up for the 2025 season. So if you love film breakdown, if you love talking football with context, just having a good old time, you're in the right spot. So do me a huge favor, hit that notification bell and subscribe to the channel so you do not miss out. I want everyone to stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged. And we got 2 weapons now. Tell me what you're going to do. Peace.